Where you are right now in any aspect of your life is a measure of the daily habits that have brought you here, as well as where your spirit will go. That will depend on the small actions that you carry out daily. Hello there and welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for joining me here today. I want to tell you why I decided to change my mindset and start trying to set systems instead of personal goals and how it may work for you as well. I would say it's been a while since I initiated my healing path, and I'm not sure when I began. I think I wasn't aware of it, but I have a feeling it began when I was at college studying psychology. Somehow on my road to learning how to help and guide others, it made me look into myself and ask me many questions about how I have lived my life, what was happening to me, how I was feeling. And I guess I was never interested in how I was doing. It was more like I was living that way because someone else told me it had to be the way. So until then I had been the lazy, temperamental, smart, and somewhat of a boring girl, and I was convinced that was what I was going to be my whole life. I presume some of these attributes I gave to myself, and others are the generous contributions of people. The fact is that I was stuck on these terms, but my mind started to open and I realized people can change. Actually, we do it frequently, but most of the time we are unaware of it, and it didn't happen in the short term. I would say I'm still learning how to create and make real the life I want and believe I deserve. And some days it is easier than others, and sometimes I can lose my way and fall back into a hole, and there I learned to be stronger to get me out. I used to be one of those who say I want to be like this or like that. For example, from now on I'm going to be more productive, and I would be for 2 or 3 days, maybe a week. But then I would go back to the same thing, and it was frustrating, and many times it made me feel like I was the problem. So at the beginning of this year, as many people do, I set a list of goals I wanted to shift. I didn't know how I was gonna do it, but it was the beginning of a new cycle and I was fully motivated. But guess what happened just 15 days later? Exactly, I was right back where I started. Obviously more frustrated and tired of that feeling. One day, looking for tips to achieve your goals or be successful, I came across this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it made a big impact on me. Little habits make a big difference. That's the way he explains how people normally think big successes take a big effort, but that's probably not how it has to be. Think of it like this: the effects of habits grow and multiply as we repeat it, and although initially it seems to make no notable change, the impact they can generate after time becomes quite significant. So, where you are right now in any aspect of your life is a measure of the daily habits that have brought you here, as well as where your spirit will go. That will depend on the small actions that you carry out daily. The first layer is about changing the results and setting the goals we tend to impose on ourselves. The second layer is linked to changing the habits, the system itself. And the third and the best one is to develop habits for the construction of self-identity. When you set a goal, there are two possibilities: you achieve it or not. If you don't, you may feel unwanted emotions, but if you do achieve it, the expected feeling isn't gonna last, so it won't be enough and you will need a new goal. However, we must not completely forget about our goals. When we are working on a system, we are in a process that could take you to your goal, but that's not the point. It's more about the journey, not just the one to reach your target, but the one that keeps you in the game. Usually, we don't consider the beliefs that lead our actions, but that's one of the most important things to do. The more identified you feel with the goal you want to reach, the more you appropriate it, and you will start acting like the kind of person you already think you are. Now, to build that system, you need to start with small tweaks in your daily routine that, if you do constantly over a long period, will become a habit. So, as I told you before, we won't forget about the goals, at least for now. Set your goal, think where you are, think where you want to be, what has taken you away from that goal, And even more important, what motivates you to achieve that goal? What makes it valuable for you? Once you identify that, let's start to plan the actions that will take you where you want to. What small steps you can commit yourself to do daily? After that, give it a time and a place. And this is going to be your system, what you will focus on, your process. From now, you won't need your goal anymore. Less ways as a point of focus. But then, what if it is not working as you thought it would? Does that mean you failed? No, you didn't. That's one thing about systems that's different from setting goals. If the system you created is not working, you can fix it. Make adjustments till your new actions fit you, and by repeated actions, you will incorporate a new habit in your life. And remember, you won't be motivated every single day. Nevertheless, make sure you keep doing what is on your system. If you don't do it one day, that's okay. But don't make it a habit because it can work in both directions. And don't give up. If this is what you want, you deserve it and you can achieve it. Just keep it up. Not each day is gonna be the same. But you need to live every moment of your life, enjoy it, and keep in mind who you are, who you want to be, and what you want to achieve. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Ciao!